my fascinating Renaissance friends. It's episode 81. Can you beat that? Alright, so Lamborghinis, Porsche, what else? Other. Okay. Other cars. Alright, I'm not very familiar with them. Okay. And Louis Vuitton bags, Prada bags, Chanel, Gucci, all of these, okay, there are status symbols, okay, according to experts, used to be status symbols, which means that there is a new status symbol now, okay, and what else used to be status symbols, okay? When you have a YouTube channel, that shows you jetting around the world, in your private jets, okay, with assistants, with lots of suitcases, and, from one exotic place to another, from Monaco to Cairo, to Dubai, to Paris, to Belgium, name it. The canals of Venice, that's wealth, right? Okay, last episode we just talked about quiet wealth, and that's why latter part of 2024, and now it's a growing trend, according to brand strategist Eugene Healy. He calls it being chronically offline is the new flex. Again, let me repeat. Being chronically offline is the new flex. Flex simply means a new standard of behavior, a new action, a new benchmark. See, it says offline. If we have quiet wealth, okay, we have quiet what? Quiet presence, maybe, or the desire for privacy, privacy and unplugged from the internet. Seldom do they appear in their internet. Some of them have really closed their social media platforms, and they just post whenever there is some cause, just like save the whales, okay, save the trees, except for those causes, they don't anymore post what they used to do. Why is it the new flex? Why is it the new status symbol? Because it shows that you have the means to ditch the hustle culture and getting ahead. What is a hustle culture? What was made a demigod before? Like, you are so busy hustling. You have a business here and a business there, and you travel here, you travel there. You're so busy. That's the hustle culture trying to make your millions. This is the antithesis of that. It's just telling people very discreetly that you have the time and the means to ditch the hustle culture because you prefer privacy and you prefer to use your time in other endeavors. Okay, so it says here it's choosing how to spend downtime. It also includes looking healthy and leading an effortless existence. Okay, I guess, the new flex is leisure. Like, what do you do for leisure? Some people play the violin, some people watch concerts, or some people just have the time, to go to a forest and forest bathe. There's such a thing as bathing in the forest. It's not really taking a bath in the forest. Forest bathing simply means being there, talking to trees, embracing, the quiet atmosphere of a forest, being among trees and all of that, okay? So, they use mental energy, and they use their influence to influence to bring people to a more what viable life. Okay, where did it start? Where? Well, I made some research, and well, it was supposed to have started, with the launch of the book by Cal, CAL, Cal Newport, who used to be a professor at Harvard, who is now, he's now a researcher and a writer. In 2019, he wrote the book Digital Minimalism, okay, choosing a focused life in a noisy world. So, does it mean therefore that you have to ditch social media? Of course not. Do we ditch the platforms? No. He said that he advocates deliberate and mindful approach to technology use. So it's not really it's not really ghosting social media. No. You have a social media presence, but he says it's a deliberate and mindful approach. In short, there is a reason, why you will be in social media. Of course, I am in social media. I have a YouTube channel. This channel, okay, we upload, episodes new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. I have a mission. I have a purpose for the channel, my season of life, and why was the channel launched in the first place? It's because I would like to really give space, for those 60 years and beyond on how to live a good life. All right, because just because we have reached 60 means that's the end of life. No, that's the purpose of that, and this was somehow encouraged by the original minimalists. Okay, Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. They have their YouTube, the Minimalist. Okay, they have encouraged people to live very simply yet very meaningfully. Okay, so the shift, all right, reflects a growing desire to disconnect from the constant, that's the key, disconnect from the constant demands of digital life, like 24 by 7. We know somebody, okay, every time she eats something, she takes a picture, and then whatever she does, every step of the way. She was sick, she was in bed, and she was she was streaming, the days that she was lying in bed. The constant exposure is what we're talking about here. You can still have your TikTok accounts, you can still have your Instagram, but you space it. You only show pictures which are important. You post when it will be helpful, but it's the constant presence, in social media, that makes people, get tired, of what we are really espousing, says prioritizing privacy. Yeah, privacy. They want to have private lives, leisure, and exclusive real-world experiences over perpetual, there you go, constant, perpetual online presence. Okay? So, again, guys, it's not so much, that you don't have a social media presence. We all need that. We need Facebook to connect, like me, I need YouTube and Facebook so that people will be reached, by the ideas that I am espousing, of course. But the idea of perpetual online, constant, digital life is what they are rebelling against. In fact, I just saw this morning when I was preparing, an article written. It said the rise of offline living is a new wellness trend. So, see, now it's not just the new status symbol. It is now a trend in wellness. Being offline. Sometimes, and not really live. Digital lives. Okay, so that happens to be aha moment number 6. Okay, because April is all about new ways of thinking, new trends, renewal. How can we continue to live exciting lives? These are new ideas that we can really think about. Oh, by the way, okay, the reason I have a Facebook account many, many, many years ago is because my daughter opened it for me, because I don't really have that. I maintained it because friends, would, but the same, but not many pictures. In fact, a lot of my pictures are private. Well, now that I have a YouTube channel, it seems that I have more followers in Facebook than in YouTube, which is really great. Okay, so if you don't see me posting pictures of my family, it's because ever since I'm a very private person, I'm actually an introvert. Okay, working in a very extroverted world. I have very few friends, really, really close friends, but I have lots and lots of acquaintances. Okay, all right. So I guess stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you will be notified when our new episodes are up every Tuesday and Friday. Until then, okay, my fascinating Renaissance friends, this is your fellow sojourner. Okay, together we are navigating and living the best life ever. Now that we are 60 and beyond. Okay, I will see you next episode. Goodbye.